All right, fam, welcome to the video. So I think the events of this past week can be summed up like this. Radical feminists have traded woke for rage. I'm starting to miss woke. I don't know about y'all. I remember when woke was the big complaint, that everything had gone woke. The movies had gone woke, the music had gone woke, social media had gone woke. And now I'm looking back on it. I'm just like, woke wasn't so bad, because these things happening lately, the same folks who used to carry the woke mantle, well, they're now carrying the rage mantle. I think rage, at least for their side, is becoming a lot more of an effective tool, because if you're yelling, if you're raging, if you're just going straight crazy, it kind of helps you to cover up for accountability. We don't have time to hold you accountable if you're so busy raging and screaming all the time. And I think this is the smoke screen that the left has now come up with in order to get them out of facing any accountability. Like, we know the left, they love to cancel, but they hate accountability. So I think once this was starting to happen, because Trump is, if nothing else, he's holding folks accountable on the left, and they can't stand it. They've been taking up the temperature from just woke to straight rage. And I think this last week or so, we saw that clearly, and you can't really deny it now. And so that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. I want to show you guys some footage from the weekend where these woke raging feminists are just screaming at these officers. I mean, and at some point it works. I mean, we forget that they're yelling at people who, if this was the other way around, they would be congratulating, They don't seem to rage and scream when these people are catching the leaders, when they're catching sexual offenders, when they're catching burglars. When they're catching these people, we don't seem to rage so much. When the lines are less clear, when they're going out and fighting for something they don't agree with, the temperature turns up. And I got to think a lot of this stuff is manufactured, guys, and it helps to cover up for, a lot of the things that they're up to. We're going to look at some footage, but we're also going to talk about some of the tactics. It's being brought to light, these underground networks. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie One Battle After Another, but it kind of went under the radar. If you look at it, it's exactly what we got here. We have these underground networks. They communicate, they set up strategy, they do everything they can to get around law enforcement, and places like Minneapolis support it. So it has nothing else to do but just grow and get worse and worse. And these radical feminists are at the head of it, and they're screaming and they're hollering, and they don't want to be held accountable for anything they do, and they want to use rage as a substitute for accountability. Let's take a look at this video that I put together. I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about.
Back up! Don't touch you all! I didn't touch you! I didn't touch you! You guys are evil! Evil! Where's the humanity? Where's their humanity? Nobody has touched you. No one has. You guys are evil! You were called to stand here with us! You should be marching with us!
There you go. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, we don't know what they're screaming about. We don't know what they're hollering about, but they're raging. And if they're raging, we should be aware, right? We should stop what we're doing and take a long, hard look at ourselves and ask ourselves, why are we even living? Because, how dare we get the feminists all upset like this? Now, we know the incident that happened, and there's several different angles, and there's so much controversy over it. We're not going to really get into that here because, this was another feminist. This was another raging leftist who was trying to incite the officers. We all know that. And we know that they're trying to put these folks in a position to where they got to make a decision in a split second about whether or not they want to use deadly force. This is the intent. This is what they're putting themselves on the line for. Now, here's part of the video you guys may not have seen yet. We're going to take a look at Renee Good pulling up to the scene and using her horn in a code to alert people in the residence that ICE is in the area. And who knows what these people can do once they have that knowledge. They could take up arms themselves. I think the danger started right there. Immediate, imminent, that's debatable, but they definitely started to create the friction, to create the scene, the environment in which the ICE officers are going to have to act. Now, you guys check this out.
In the newly surfaced footage, which offers fresh insight into the controversial events as they unfolded, Renee's plum-colored SUV can be spotted pulling into frame and then letting out a passenger before making a turn perpendicular to the street, seemingly in an attempt to block traffic on the road where ICE had been operating.
All right, so you guys see it right there. This one's a new video making its way around the internet, and you clearly see her blaring her horn, blocking traffic, doing everything she can to put these officers in a position where they can then use their actions against them. And this is all strategic. You guys think I'm just speculating? Let's take a look at this article here that's going to point just to that fact. Reports reveal activism ties of the woman killed in the Minneapolis ICE shooting. And this is the information that media is suppressing. Why? Because it doesn't back their narrative. The media are, I think, 100% to blame for the environment that we have. The mainstream media has been gone totally woke, and we all know woke. What is woke is leading to? It's leading to rage. And the media now has grabbed the rage mantle along with these feminists. See, they work in tandem, hand in hand, to help each other out, to help drive this anger and this desperation narrative that everyone's so distracted by, to make Trump look like a horrible human being for simply doing what we voted him in to do, for ICE to seem like the Gestapo or the Third Reich for doing what it is we asked him to do. So, America has a problem with always undermining its own desires. We voted these people in, and conservatives, I need to hear more from you guys. I need to hear more from the people who voted Trump in, and stop letting these liberals rampage all throughout our political system because we simply just are too cool for school. We got to get up and we got to say something about this. We got to do just what they're doing. I don't mean we have to be violent. But we do have to be vocal. We got to be a lot more vocal and a lot more present and show these folks that we support them, because I don't see a whole lot of that going on right now. We're quick to get conservatives and common sense people into office, and then we abandon them and turn them over to the sharks. At least that's my opinion of it. But you can see here, she's no angel, folks. She was no quiet church mom dropping her kids off from school and just simply going about her way, while the vicious ICE agents just picked her out of the clear sky and decided to attack her. But that's the narrative that they're running with, and they're screaming it and they're yelling it, hoping that penetrates. Let's take a look at another story here. Here's the attitude of Minneapolis toward ICE. Just get the F out. That's not, well, then why have politics? Why have a political system set up? If we're going to go about it, if we're going to make our votes, if we're going to choose our leaders, and then we're going to attack them as soon as they get on the job. If we're going to do that, let's stop spending billions of dollars to prop up a government, and let's just all go Armageddon. Let's just all go chaos, because that's what politics is supposed to be trying to avoid. If we don't have a political discourse, then this is what we're left with. And Democrats are all for it, political discourse and for political systems, if it helps fit their narrative. But the minute it doesn't help fit their narrative, we're back to cussing each other out and fighting each other, doing all sorts of things to each other in order to get a win. This is from the Independent. Homeland Security sources claim she was part of a group called ICE Watch. And this is more than just watch. That's misleading in and of itself, because as you can see, they're not just watching from a safe distance. They're literally putting themselves on the scene in the conflict, and they're trying to come in between ICE and the illegal immigrants they're trying to get. I've heard in some cases they're even pulling the immigrants away from the ICE officers. They're daring the ICE officers to do something. And that's the most shameful part about this whole plan of theirs, is that it's all right to attack an ICE officer. Where did they get that in their minds that this was okay to do? Is it the screaming? Is it the yelling? Is it making people too afraid to say anything different, that this small minority of people are taking the reins of power, so to speak. It's because people aren't saying anything that the small minority is able to get away with this kind of stuff. I want you to check out another clip here from J.D. Vance. He gave a press conference where he addressed just this thing. Watch.
Earlier that there's a left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and make it impossible for ICE officers to do their job. So if everything that you say is true, how does being part of that network justify being shot?
Well, being part of the network doesn't justify being shot, but ramming an ICE officer with your car, that's what justifies being shot. It's not a good thing, by the way, but when you force somebody to engage in self-defense, it's almost a preposterous question. The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car and that guy acted in self-defense. I'm sorry, guys, what's going on here? You guys are meant to report the truth. How have you let yourself become agents of propaganda of a radical fringe that's making it harder for us to enforce our laws? You just asked me a question that presumed that the reason why this woman died is because she was engaged in legitimate protest. She tried to run somebody over with her car, and the guy defended himself when that happened. Next question.
I love it. I mean, he completely checked that guy. And did you see the smug way he asked the question? How is she supposed to, is being funded, is having an organized terror network? What's so bad about that? I mean, black folks in particular, you guys should know exactly how bad that is. I mean, I can think about the KKK, the Aryan Brotherhood, all these militant secret organizations just designed to violate your rights for the sake of their own, for fear. At one time, white folks feared any movement, any advancement from black Americans because they were encroaching and coming in and invading their spaces. So they had to wear white hoods and terrorize people in a very organized way to subvert that, to stop that. And now these same black folks, they seem to have forgotten how dangerous that is. These political wings, these militant wings of the political structure, the Democrat Party, the Conservative Party, whatever, these militant wings of these parties going out and actually terrorizing the very people who would be voting it away. This is exactly what we're seeing here. It's history repeating itself, only this time it's immigrants, and they're the ones being used. Why? Because the Democrats need new voters. Trump is doing away with their voter base. They've lost black folks, they've lost men, they've lost a lot of sane people. So what they have to do is replace that with illegal immigration. It's finally being exposed, guys, so we got to keep an eye on that. But I just wanted to point out in this video for you the obvious change from woke to rage now. And where do we go from after rage? I hate to think about it, but this is something we got to check right now while we still got some semblance of discourse left before the whole thing just goes south. But that's my take on it, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel and supporting the channel. Please continue to do so and help us grow. I love to bring you more videos, more information, and just appreciate the feedback down in the comments. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.